For my instructional video, I will be showing how to fabric design, which is adding your own designs on fabric. I will be explaining how to make your paint stay onto the fabric after you wash them. For my process, it usually starts at either Savers or Goodwill, but for you, it could be anywhere where you could just find a lot of variety of clothing for cheap. Um, the reason I choose my clothing is pretty objective. I kind of just look for things that I could see designing. I guess I would just call like potential for what I could design to make the clothing look better. Um, Before starting, I looked through a lot of references of other people that I collect of Instagram posts, and I just go through whatever designs they make and whatever I would want to see on my on whatever I'm working on. It usually helps my process start and just helps me think of what I could add. For my tools, I would really recommend acrylic paint, the type that's of the thicker kind. There's two types of viscosity of acrylic paints, so the thicker one usually does me better. Something called Golden GAC 900, which is just like a chemical compound that you add to to your acrylic paint. So when you actually wash it, it doesn't actually come off of the fabric. Other things I would recommend being paint brushes, something to clean with, like napkins, little containers to hold water or paint. Um, Something like this, which is a needle tip bottle, just really helps you get the detail into the fabric. Colored pencils really help you sketch out the design before you actually start putting paint on them. And an iron, a ripped up cloth. I just use a t-shirt and a ruler. For preparing my station, I generally just clean my surroundings. I don't have any clothing on that I wouldn't want to get paint on. To start out for my clothing, I iron it out and I use a lint roller so I don't have anything in the way of me sketching or painting. For people that are new to this, I would recommend practicing on paper. So practicing your design that you would want to see so you don't have to retrace or anything or have to undo colored penciling. The next part would be just sketching it out. So how I begin is I kind of just make long insinuated lines that kind of fill up the spaces that I want to see filled up. It's really just lines that that kind of follow an angle that I want to see. So the next portion would just be connecting those lines with the design that you would want. For me, I'm just using a kind of dramatic, I think it's called like cyber sigillism. So just dragging out lines and making them real curvy is kind of the goal of mine. For the needle tip bottles, a problem that I do have is it having air pockets. So when the pressure inside the bottle does get too tight, it releases air and it actually kind of shoots out paint a little bit. So every now and then just unscrew the bottle and make sure there's not any air pockets in it. But lastly, just the rest would just be filling in all the corners that or filling in more of the lines. So when I go back, I can just use a paintbrush and I can just fill in the gaps that are away from the edges of my design. But that's about it, yeah. Once you've finally added your paint, it's recommended to at least let it sit for 24 hours. But in reality, I mean, you could wait until you're actually done with the whole painting. But it's at least recommended to wait 24 hours so the paint can really set onto the fabric. Once you've done that, what I recommend is using a cloth, which for me, is a ripped up t-shirt. And after that, you just iron it out for about 5 to 10 minutes so it can really absorb the paint into the fabric. And actually, a precaution of mine would be, when you're heat setting, actually ventilating the area that you're using and wearing a mask is a good idea, because the chemicals added into the paint emit small amounts of formaldehyde into the air, and generally that's not good to inhale. But other than that, yeah, that's fabric designing, and now your fabric is fully painted on and won't wash off when you wash it. So that's my process, and I hope you enjoyed.